Hey guys, welcome back. I had an email question this weekend that was so brilliant. I just wanted to make a quick video about it. The listener emailed and she said, I'm a little bit confused. She said, it seems like you really guide people and point people to lean into their feelings and to really have them and to greet them, meet them. And she said, it seems like it would just be a lot simpler if we just leaned into the happy feelings. So instead of, say, envy or grief or rage or terror come into our midst, which those are all labels, of course. We made that up. It's energy coming our way or rising. But for the sake of this video, we'll just call them the labels that the listener talked about. So she's kind of saying these clouds move into our blue sky and they're, icky ones. They're the emotions that she doesn't like. They're uncomfortable. So why would I ask anyone to sort of stay with those and get to know them when it's just so much easier to look over here and see really happy ones? And I just want to start by saying, if it occurs to you in a moment, and let's say you're feeling constricted or tight or envious or insecure, that's a big one. Insecure, doubtful. Um, and then all of a sudden it occurs to you, like this happened to me earlier today. I was feeling insecure about it. I walked through the room. I saw this little pumpkin candle, and I just suddenly was filled with like, and I just felt happy, joyful, great. But that's the design. I love the blue sky metaphor that we are the blue sky. And all these phenomena, these emotions and these experiences, these sensations, they are the clouds that pass through the blue sky, and they do so on their own. But there's a subtle little ego, a subtle little thought that sneaks in when it looks like, well, can I just look at the happy clouds? Since the yucky clouds are going to pass anyway, can I just look over here? But can you sense that little subtle resistance? And it's not a problem. I just like to point it out that when we're preferring one kind of cloud over the other, one weather system over a different one, we're misidentifying as part of those clouds as something that is um, transient and fleeting and always changing. We have forgotten that we are the blue sky, that we are stable, that we are at our essence peace. We are the space of yes, peace, welcome, please. All weather patterns pass through me. You are welcome. So I just want to say this isn't really so much about choosing to focus on happy emotions or the choosing to focus on icky emotions. There aren't icky ones as far as I can see. They're all amazing. This is really more about remembering who we are and noticing that when there is a preference, because of course there's going to be preferences, when there's a preference to have one emotion over another, we're just very temporarily misidentifying. We're forgetting who we are. We're forgetting we're the blue sky that says, yes, please, please pass through my sky. And one more thing about these icky emotions, these uncomfortable emotions. What if? What if? And you can just play with this yourself because it's been such a profound sense of freedom for me to be able to experience and welcome all emotions, all feelings. So what if every time there's a wave of a strong emotion. I'll just pick insecurity because that's one of my favorites. A wave of insecurity moves through and you feel it, and you have the sensations and then all the stories. And then part of the story is, I don't like this. It needs to go. What if every time that wave moves through you, it's just another layer, almost like a snake skin shedding? It's another layer of something that is ready to move through, be felt, be held, and then be set free. But first, before it can be set free, before it can be sort of transmuted, it's got to be seen for what it actually is. It's all energy. It's all made of the same aliveness, the same intelligence, the same wisdom, the same stuff, the same life. It's all made of the same stuff. So if we find ourselves pushing against a certain emotion or saying, let's move those along, not a problem. We all do it. But what if the real freedom, like this true causeless joy, this imperturbable peace, really rises and shines as we're more the blue sky, open. Like I just picture, we did this in office hours, like chin up, shoulders back, arms out, palms out. Like, yes, please. Insecurity, come here, come on in. I'm the blue sky. I am the space of peace. I am the capacity to hold you. It's just something to play with. This isn't something to get right or to sit with or to power through. It's just something to consider. Two last things I want to read you because one of the best things about being a coach, I'm pulling both of these up. One of the best things about being a coach is my clients say some of the most amazing things ever, and I tend to write them down. And one was a client on Friday, and I wrote it in my notebook next to her name. And we were talking about these emotions and how strong they can be, and the intensity physically, physiologically of some of these emotions can be quite something. Like you really feel it in your belly or your head or your throat. And she said, we were talking about not wasting triggers, because that's my favorite phrase right now, never waste a trigger. And she was talking about these really strong emotions and sensations. And she said, I'm realizing that every time I have one of these experiences of uncomfortable emotions or sensations, and I don't push it away, but I actually bring it closer, I increase my zone of trust. I love that. I increase my zone of trust. And she says, yes, even this is included, meaning whatever's arising, whatever emotion is arising, whatever sensation is arising, yes, even this is included. I am increasing my zone of trust. And then my other client, I love this. She wrote two things. We were texting back and forth. She's on vacation in France right now and having a couple little bumps in the road. And she said, I just heard this from one of your videos and it's resonating. And this is what she heard. What raw internal experience does my mind hate in this moment? What experience does my mind prefer would go away and leave me alone? That is the very experience that is most in service of me right now. I will welcome it even when my mind resists and hates it. There's such there's so much more going on than what meets the eye when we have these emotions and sensations. And if nothing else, we can remember that there's a current of intelligence, of this aliveness, this wisdom that is always running just below all the changing, fleeting emotions and sensations. And that intelligence, that flow of life, we can trust that. And we can take those little baby leaps of faith and just sort of rest in that, relax in that. And when those strong emotions come, we can say, yeah, hi, I see you. I was going to add one more thing, but I think this video is already getting too long, so I'm going to save it for a different video. I'm trying to keep these short. But I hope this helps for the listener who asked about why in the world would we welcome and invite um, negative emotions. And I guess really because everything changes when we do. Everything begins to open up. You can just, the capacity to be the blue sky, to be who we really are, our true nature. opens up and shines through. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.